Hello, welcome to the homestead. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I have the day off, obviously. And we got a milk cow yesterday, and we promptly lost our milk cow yesterday. She found a hole in my fence that I had forgotten about. It's right over there, that tree. So when I was putting up this garden area, I was most interested in just keeping our neighbor's cows out so we could, get it prepped and all that good stuff. Not necessarily worried about keeping a cow in. And that small little hole didn't present to me to be a big problem because my neighbor's cows weren't like itching to get into this space. And I thought it was a pretty small enough hole that they wouldn't exploit it. However, an animal trying to get out is a whole nother kettle of fish. So I don't know if this will be in this video or another video. You might see her busting loose if we got that, but she fit right through that little hole between the tree and our neighbor's fence because I didn't run the barbed wire all the way to the neighbor's fence. I ran to that tree and used the tree to be my tensioner and everything. So I'm out here doing a couple different things with the microphone so it's not in the wind, hopefully. I'm out here doing a couple different things. Gonna plug up that hole. I'm going to work on the cow shelter using those pallets. I think I said before I'm going to make it pretty much the same dimensions as the pig shelter, just twice as high. And then I'm also going to be running I got some another charger or another power supply. Going to run a hot wire, um, electric wire, basically in between these two pieces of barbed wire so that once we recover our cow, get her in here, um, she's not trying to bust through, or vice versa, neighbor's cows trying to get into her, because she has now been with our neighbor's cows overnight, and his breeding bull has taken quite a shine to her, which is fine because we want to get her bred eventually anyway. Um, we don't even know if she's in heat right now, if she's fertile. They're doing their thing. We tried to catch her a little earlier this morning, tried to coax her with some feed, tried to get a halter on her. She wasn't having it. Best I could do is get her eating and I could scratch her neck a little bit, then she would back away. It's learning, guys, and one of the reasons we share it with you, the highs and the lows, is we want to hopefully be encouragement in case any of you are watching this thinking, I can't do this, or I want to do this, but I'm afraid, you know, not that we're inspiration or anything, but hopefully if you can see that we're having a rough go of it, but we work through it, maybe it'll help you overcome your fear to even try. Sometimes you just got to do it. And sometimes that's the outcomes are great. Sometimes the outcomes are not as great. But they are always what they're supposed to be. So if you leap in faith, God will catch you in faith and carry you on. So I'm going to get set up and get going. Hello, welcome to the homestead. So today is a new day, and I'm working on trying to get this shelter put up for the cow, our wayward cow, Strawberry. She's going to live with our neighbor's herd for another couple days until she comes back here. So in the meantime, I'm going to get her shelter area ready. Talking it over with Shauna, we decided that maybe this garden area may be a little bit more of a livestock area, at least in the short term. We're going to go ahead and get cattle panels to reinforce the barbed wire here. It's a little bit more expensive than we wanted to do, but it's an investment. It's not like they're going to go to waste. We can always use them, repurpose them for other things. So it's a little bit different investment than we wanted to do right now, but it is still an investment. We're going to probably put the shelter there between those two trees. Boom, boom. well, no, that tree and that tree. That tree's like on the other side of the fence. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I don't know if I'm actually going to, it's going to end up there. The ground's a little uneven there. I don't want to do a lot of grading work or any grading work really. And I don't know how I'm going to do with, it's pretty rocky there too. A lot of surface rock, so who knows what's under the ground. So we'll see how driving the posts go. Kind of get an outline where I want it, but if I can center it kind of, or not center it really, but just kind of pick it off of that tree there. It's so weird. I'm not actually pointing at the tree in real life. Yeah, so there. If I'm pointing, kind of pick it off that tree as being one corner, so to speak. Maybe just a little bit forward of it this way, and same orientation as the pig shelters because the prevailing winds don't change. And like I said, it's going to be about the same dimensions as the pig shelter, just twice as high. So I'm going to get set up. I think I've got everything I need to use as much, take advantage of as much daylight as possible we have left. I'll also mic up so that I can have the camera ways away, getting good wide angles, but if you can hear me if I'm speaking or I need to talk. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay, I am going to be done for tonight. You can probably tell we're losing the light, but got a pretty decent ways here. Let me pick you up, take you over, give you a closer look. Sorry, had to move the tripod up over. So, don't know how much you could see or make out what I was doing, because that's probably all going to be high speed that I did there, but doing the same idea as I did with the pig shelter, and maybe I'll like draw this up sometime, but it's really, don't want to use the word ghetto, but it's really slapdash. There you go. The T-posts are basically adding, being my vertical supports, and they're being driven in. They're not going to be load bearing per se. The actual pallets are going to do that, and I'm going to reinforce the pallets vertically once I get them all put together. Now I'm putting the 2x4s there, and the next course of pallets are going to go on top of that, also over the T-posts. Obviously I put one in that corner. There'll be one down in this corner once I put on that bit tomorrow. Now I'm working on uneven ground. Over there I had the blessing of having relatively even ground. It probably slopes a little bit, but I really wasn't concerned. Here I picked a spot that is really uneven. I've got a high spot here, and you can see I'm having to shore it up. Now I'm just using stone that I have here in the field, or cinder blocks that I have left over from other things. And I know people are shaking their heads going, that's horrible. That's a horrible foundation. It's going to settle. And two things. This ground is pretty settled. Okay. I'm not worried about, I'm not disturbing the soil, so I'm not worried about settling of the soil. Things are pretty much where they're at. The extra weight that I'm adding directly over it, yeah, it's going to compact it a little, not greatly. I'm not worried about that. Second, I'm going to fill in those gaps. Okay. I'm not going to leave them open and exposed. So I'm going to pile up rock and debris under it and make a foundation that the rest of the weight can sit on. And like I said, I'm going to be adding vertical supports inside, and I'll probably take those all the way to the ground. I'll probably get some ground contact treated 2x4. I'm not going to do 4x4 because, again, I'm not trying to make this structural for things to sit on or anything. I'm just trying to keep it up and give it some basic wind ability, and that's where the T-posts come in. The T-posts are going to keep it, as long as all the pallets are joined together and interlocking, the T-posts are going to keep it from blowing down. Unless, of course, a tornado comes in which case these trees are probably going down before that goes down, or with it. So I'm going to be done for tonight. Like I said, you will fast forward in the video to tomorrow, and that'll happen right now. So I'm not sure where this clip's going to fall in, if this is going to be a separate video or if this is going to be a continuation of the first video, but look at that. That's our cow Strawberry. She came home to us yesterday. I would have gotten it on video. We were very surprised. She has been spending a couple days with our neighbor's herd, and even getting bread for us because she escaped. I'll show you where she escaped from over here. When we set this up, as you recall, we set this up as our garden area. It's still going to be probably, but we thought we might be able to put our milk cow in here at least temporarily until we have something else figured out. Well, when I set it up, I used barbed wire, and you guys saw all that video, but I used this tree at the end for my tension, and I forgot that that's where I ended it, and so there's a little gap here between the tree and my neighbor's fence. That tiny little gap there, you can see right there. She found, like, within the first 15 minutes of being in here, and she squeezed right through there and went away. And she's now very unhappy because I have last night put up cattle panel all the way around, so she can't get out. Now, how did she get back in here? Well, I came home from work yesterday, and she was just munching on the hay. She had just come right back on in here all on her own, munching on the hay. And I'm like, really? And I was kind of in disbelief. I saw that the gate was still open, and I'm like, what's going on here? So I went the long way around our property to make sure I didn't spook her. And I got in here, and I closed the gate as quick as I could. And the reason I didn't get any of it on video was because, well, A, I was just trying to get the gate closed. B, I was in complete and utter disbelief that she had come back in here. We were going to work with my neighbor on Friday to get her back in here. He was going to help put them in the chute and load her up and drive her back to our place. But we don't have to do that. But I also wanted to get the cattle panel, which I was planning on doing today. But I decided, you know what? I don't want to even risk overnight with just the barbed wire. So I ran to the store. I ran and got to our local hardware store, who I try to use them as much as I can because I want to support the local people, but they do have a premium over the big box stuff. So I paid the premium to get the panels rather than driving all the way into town or into the larger town where the Tractor Supply is, and spent my evening getting all that up. So she's still here. So now I'm going to continue on with the shelter area for her. And again, this isn't because we know that cows don't need shelter necessarily. As long as they got a tree and stuff, they're perfectly content. But I want to give her a shelter. I want to give her someplace where her hay can stay dry, relatively dry, where she can get out of the wind or out of the rain if she chooses to. That has just a nice area. So I'm gonna set up the tripod, get a wide angle. You'll probably see Strawberry walking back and forth, and we'll continue this video and then go from there. All right. Well, I ran out of light, but I got some important things done. The corner over there, I hadn't gotten the cattle panel. I needed to cut it in half, and so I went and did that. Strawberry's water needed to get changed out because it had gotten pretty messy. And as you can see in the video, I had some trouble getting enough locks to get that part level, but I've got that course now in, and that T-post done. The next course of pallets is gonna go just right on top of that one. Boom, 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 tack it to each other. Then I'll get as much scrap wood and stuff together to strap it all together, reinforce it, and then I can get to the roof. Okay, we're back at it. As you can see, I don't know where the camera cut off yesterday. I think it just ran out of battery. So you can see I've got the second course up, and I've got the cross braces for the trusses up. So I had to go get more wood there. I'm gonna put those up. I'm gonna use some hurricane ties just to help keep them secure, and then throw the plywood up, and then put the tarp on top. And then I got plastic wrap to do, just like I did with the piggies, just because this is these these pallets are a little bit more porous, so more wind's getting through, so I just figured put up the plastic to help out, and we're gonna get as much done as we can. The other project that I need, two other projects that I need to try to get accomplished today while I have the daylight, is making some sort of pallet catch. I've got 3 pallets left, actually 4. There's one buried underneath the hay there. I'm gonna make some sort of just containment box that I'll probably stick under the shelter, try to keep the hay a little bit more contained, because Strawberry likes to be a messy eater and strewn it about. I think that's just normal. And the other is that we're gonna move the fence line for the chickens so that it follows the garden fence line and goes right up to where the piggies are. Part of that is just to give them a little bit more space, because we're gonna encourage the chickens to come all the way into this area. So that's forward thinking to that, but it's also to keep the dogs out, because we are trying to get away from using their boundary collars as much as possible, because especially with Luna, it's irritating her neck. So we still have their bark collars, mainly for nighttime, just to keep them from barking their fool heads off, at nothing or at anything, so we can all get some sleep. But their boundary collars we'd like to stop using as much as possible, so we're enclosing the backyard area to do that, and part of that is making sure the chickies are safe. So we're gonna get at it and hopefully get as much done as we possibly can. All right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Break for lunch, because then I've got the hard part, getting the plywood sheets up there. Yeah, I've got girls that could help. Could ask my neighbor, but he's busy with his project. I don't want to disturb him. So I'm gonna think about this, eat, come back, and charge the phone because it's dying. And that's where I lose the video. I think I've told you guys before, I use our iPhones to capture the video. We don't have dedicated cameras for this just yet. So I have my old iPhone, which I use. I have my current iPhone, and then I also have my work iPhone that I use for videos from time to time. And I just try to get the videos off of that as quickly as possible, so that I'm not mixing business and personal. But I waited too long and I had too much video on there. And when I traveled, it wanted me to do an update and unlock my phone. Well, I tried to unlock my phone and it wasn't accepting the passcode that I put in. I tried it several times. It eventually completely locked me out, and the only way I could unlock it was by doing a complete restore, which unfortunately wiped all the videos. So, lesson learned, get the videos off of my phone and onto my hard drive as quickly as I can. And hopefully this won't happen again. So I'm gonna give you a little video montage, photo montage of kind of where we got to. I did get the structure up. I got the roofing on. I got the plastic wrap around and everything. And Strawberry's been enjoying it. And in fact, you'll see in future videos, our neighbors' cows enjoyed it a lot too. They actually broke into the area and ate all of our hay. Ate all 20 bales that we bought. Just had a field day with it. They didn't destroy the structure, but they destroyed the little crib manger that I made to keep the hay in. They kind of got that. So I have things to fix there. I'll probably put that on a future video, but enjoy these pictures and short little video clips just kind of showing what we've done since it. So enjoy, and we will see you later.